Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Emily and this is the Astral Library. So we're in my living room, as you can kind of see, like a little change of location. And as you saw from the little intro, I have a stack of books with me right here. Now I impromptu went to the library, and while I was there to pick up a hold, which is this last book on the end here, I decided that why not grab some graphic novels and do a little impromptu reading day, focusing mostly on graphic novels. So let me go ahead and go through what these books are and kind of read you their synopsises. All right, so this first book we have is Project Nought by Chelsey Furedi. And as you can kind of see, it's this really pretty purplish sky that kind of drew me to it. And it's a teen. So Ren Mittal's last memory was in the year 1996, is getting on a bus to visit his mysterious pen pal Georgia when he wakes up in 2122. He thinks he might be hallucinating. He's not. Tech conglomerate Chronotech sponsors a time-traveling program to help students in 2122 to learn what history was really like from real-life subjects who've been transported into the future, and Ren is one of them. In 2122, Ren's life in the 90s is practically ancient history, and Ren's not sure how to feel about that. On top of it all, he learns that his memory will be wiped of all things 2122 before he's sent back to the 90s. Adding to Ren's complicated feelings, he's forming a crush on his student guide Mars. And when he crosses paths with the absolute last person he expected to see in the future, he has bigger problems on his hands. What if Chronotech isn't the benevolent organization they claim to be? And he and his fellow subjects are in great danger. So this sounds super good. I love a bit of sci-fi. I think I'm in a sci-fi mood, honestly. And the art in this looks really pretty. If the cover, again, is anything to go by, I think I'm just going to really enjoy the color palette that this author uses. And the story sounds really interesting. So yeah, so that is first up in my stack. The next book I have is Belle of the Ball by Costa. Again, another really pretty graphic novel. This one is sapphic, I believe, and possibly polyamorous. I'm not 100% sure on that. But again, the cover really drew my eye. I like the really cutesy art style. And even though pink's not my favorite color, I really was drawn to the pink of this cover and just like how like in your face it is. It's very fitting for, you know, the Barbie-esque society we're in currently. But let's go ahead and look at this synopsis. So high school senior and notorious wallflower Hawkins has finally worked up the courage to remove her mascot head and ask out her longtime chum, Regina Moreno, head cheerleader, academic achiever, and all-around popular girl. Unfortunately for Hawkins, Regina is already dating Chloe Kitagwa, athletic all-star and middling English student. Regina sees a perfect self-serving opportunity in the middle of this triangle. She knows the spin Hawkins will do anything to get closer to her, including tutoring Chloe free of charge. And while Regina's plan works at first, she doesn't realize that Hawkins and Chloe have their own long-forgotten history from before Hawkins started doing everything she could to avoid being noticed. Between fraught exams, soccer games, and frequent outings to the mall, romance does start to blossom, but not where you might expect. So yes, again, this sapphic, cute little high school romance. I think it's also possibly polyamorous. I think we might end up with a throuple at the end of this, if the vibes I'm getting are correct. But otherwise, again, just another really pretty graphic novel cover and thick enough, which is what I like my graphic novels to be. Since I'm such a fast reader, I like to have some substance to go through because I will tear through these books pretty quickly, as I'm sure you will see in the footage to follow. Up next, I have Coven by Jennifer Dugan and Kit Seaton. So look at this cover. I love witch magical stories, and this promises to be exactly that. I love blue, so the blue really drew me to this, but also just like the red of her coat. It kind of reminds me of like Scarlet Witch, Marvel character I really enjoy. Another thing that drew me to this, so I don't know how many of you have seen the movie Covenant. It's like a super like cult classic-y movie now from I think like the early 2000s, but this kind of just gave me some of the similar vibes with like the magic and kind of like this dark setting with this like powers and fire. A lot of things drew me to this, but let's go ahead and see that synopsis. So Esme has always lived in sunny California, and she'd much rather spend her days surfing with her friends or hanging out with her girlfriend rather than honing her abilities as a fire elemental. But when members of her family's coven back east are murdered under mysterious circumstances that can only be the result of powerful witchcraft, her family must suddenly return to upstate New York. Esme needs to quickly master her neglected craft, and she soon discovers that when united with her coven, she is stronger than she ever could have imagined. Eager to find the killers before they strike again, Esme and her new friends begin to dabble in spells beyond their control. Dangers rituals that have the power to return everything they've lost. But that kind of magic comes with a price. And the farther down the path of darkness they go, the less likely they'll be able to find their way back to the light. These witches are playing with fire. Can they solve the murders before they get burned? That ending tagline was so interesting. And I love a good mystery thriller element in my fantasy and kind of my magical book. So I think I'm really going to like this. And again, the art's super pretty and just that cover. The great thing about the library is I get to pick up these books at just kind of like a random chance. And if I really like them, I can purchase them for myself later on. So, and I'm always like, looking to expand my graphic novel collection. But this is my stack of books. So I'm going to go ahead and get started in reading them. And I'm going to bring you along with me to see what I'm thinking of these books and just kind of diving into them. But let's go ahead and get started reading. Hello. I just wanted to do a quick check-in on Project Nought. So I'm really liking this. I think it's so good so far. I'm only 50 or so pages in, but I really like all the artwork in it. I love the colors the author chose, and I'm really liking all the representation of characters. We have a lot of POC characters, but also a lot of different sexual orientations going on. We have someone who uses they them pronouns, and just kind of we have a wide cast of characters that are all very different from each other, and I'm really liking it so far. And it is going to be a gay romance novel. I mean, we can kind of tell by the cover with the two male leads, but I think we also have maybe a non-binary and female romance, which will be kind of interesting to see developed. Again, I'm very much enjoying this, and those first 50 pages are just perfect. So I think I'm going to tear through this, but I need food because I'm hungry and I have work at 3. Yeah, that's gonna interrupt my reading a little bit, but I still think I'll be able to finish this in the next couple of hours, or at least I'll probably be able to get through most, if not all, the graphic novels tonight, because like that's my main priority and that's kind of what I want to do. So I will catch you in the next update. I'm back with an update, and behind me is Winnie. So Winnie's gonna join us for this update. So I have just finished Project Nought, and oh my god, I really like this one. Not only was the art beautiful, but the story was super compelling, and it was so rich of a story that had a lot of implications on like the morality of time traveling, especially for study of other people. Other than that, just kind of looking at the implications of pulling someone out of their own time and their own life and essentially telling them to stuff it and deal with it. It is such a great book, and the fact that Furedi was able to kind of capture that in not long of a book at all, again, just produced such a compelling story. I will definitely be picking up more of her work. I know she has another series. Oh, the AC just kicked on. I hope you can't hear it too badly. But yes, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 5 stars, and I'm excited for the rest of them. If this one was as good, what about the others? I'm probably going to continue reading this evening. I want to get through, I think, most of the graphic novels, if not all of them today, because I am also in the middle of my Magical Readathon. I should get back to that TBR pretty soon. Otherwise, I'm going to be scrambling at the end of the month, and I have too many chunky books to do that. I think it's about 4 or 5 o'clock. No, I think maybe like 5:36 at this time, which explains the outfit change. I took a shower after work and I said comfy clothes all day. But I'm going to go back to reading, and I will catch you in the next update. Oh, but before I even do that, let me go ahead and tell you what I'm going to read next. I think I'm going to just do Belle of the Ball next because it's super cute and it looks like it'll be kind of a similar vibe. Maybe a little less serious than Project Nought was, but still I think it could be a fun time. Okay, for real, I'll catch you in the next update. Bye! Again, minor up. So I'm about 94 pages into this, and I'm enjoying it. I really hate how they're treating the main character. So kind of the basic premise is that Hawkins had confessed her love to the head cheerleader, but she had a girlfriend, and Hawkins like, oh crap, sorry, I thought you guys broke up. Well, cheerleader Regina is basically super driven individual who has like a 10-year plan to get into like med school and all that, and she wants to take her girlfriend along with her, but her girlfriend is failing English. So essentially they come up with this plan to manipulate Hawkins, our main character, to tutor the girlfriend for free, and they both are just treating her really bad, and I kind of hate them both, especially because we learned that the girlfriend is actually a childhood friend of the main character, and she didn't recognize her, and she's still treating her pretty much like shit, even though it seemed like she had a crush on our main character at some point as a kid. So I don't know exactly what happened between them, but I really don't like how they're treating her, and I kind of think they're awful people. I think we're not going to end up with a throuple. At least I hope we don't end up with a throuple, because they're awful, and I don't think either of them deserve her at this point. So I guess we'll see how it's going to end up. I think maybe what might happen is that Chloe, the girlfriend, might end up with our main character, Hawken, right here, and she'll break up with Regina, which may happen. I don't know. Again, I'm only that much in, so about like I said, 94 pages. So I still got a chunk to go, so I'll probably finish in the next maybe 30 minutes, if that. I tore through those pages pretty quickly. In fact, I'm pretty sure you saw the sped up version of me reading 90% of that. So I'm gonna get back to reading this and hopefully come back at you with the finished update. Okay, hello, we're back again with the closing update for Belle of the Ball, and I have to say I was pleasantly surprised with how this ended. Of course, it ended in the love story between Chloe and our main character Hawkins, or Belle, and I have to say I really did enjoy Chloe and Regina's character at the end of the book, because we get more substance into them than was originally thought. And Regina is played as the bad girl and kind of like the, popular bitch, and she kind of is, but also we do kind of get hints at her like having genuinely like relationship feelings for our main character Belle / Hawkins / whatever. I ended up really enjoying just every character. I think every character kind of got its like sweet ending. No one's toes were stepped on. There was still a really sad moment when Regina and Chloe did break up. I was more sad about it than I thought I would be, but I think everyone's relationship was really genuine and it was very cute. I wouldn't give this a perfect score like Project Nought, but I think I would definitely give this a 3.5 to a 4-star. Yeah, so a good time all around. Next up in this little mini vlog, I'm going to poke my nose in the signs of the zodiacs, and I think just read the few pages that I want to of this. Like I said, I don't think I'll read this cover to cover, but I am interested in looking at the Capricorn because that's my sign. But after I finish that, I do want to read Coven, and so this is probably where I'll end the vlog on. So you'll catch me reading snippets here and there of this, and again, hopefully it's as good as its cover because I'm really excited for this one. So I saved it for last. So hopefully I'm not disappointed. But I will catch you in an update when I've either started this one or finished the Zodiac one. Okay, hello. Final update for the vlog. I have just finished Coven, and I want to say I expected more from this than I got. The story was okay, but it felt like it was really rushed in some points, and it felt like this should have been a whole series, and they should have like cut down what was going on in this book, because it just took a really long time for us to even get to the main plot, which was necromancy thing, but they're also trying to find out who killed Ben's parents, and I don't know. It felt both rushed and too slow, if that makes any sense. Like on one hand, it was too slow getting to the crux of the moment, but it was also really rushed in its conclusion. I feel like we just kind of like the last 50 or so pages just blew through all the conflict. That the Death Witch was this person we've been seeing this whole time, which was really obvious because she had like tattoos on her arms, but they were just Sharpies, so it's okay. And then when Ben started having the same lines, it was ridiculous. So yeah, I'm disappointed. The art was still really beautiful, and I liked the characters to a point. They did get a little like teenagey where they were just making dumb decisions and like, you know, just, you know, fun tip for everyone, don't do necromancy. It's a bad idea. Like you have a whole book with like pages upon pages of warning. It's a bad idea. And like they knew it was a bad idea, but they just kind of like steamroll into it after they were doubting it. They're like, never mind all our doubts. We're just gonna do it now. And like they were just very, very YA teenage angst and problems with miscommunication and just lack of sharing information. But I will say the adults were equally bad in this. The adults were not smart caretakers, and they had this whole stuff like, yeah, we were letting you do the stupid things and we knew, and we were using you as bait. So they were just kind of, everyone was shitty decision making all around, teenagers and adults, and that was really frustrating to read because I felt like this had so much potential to be a really good story. And I think if there are sequels, I might be interested in picking it up. I don't think there are. I saw a lot of potential in this story, and I wish it was maybe either longer or broken up into more parts so we had time to really develop the plot that it was trying to show us in here. So I think with all of that, I'll probably give this a solid 3 stars. I enjoyed it until a point, and again, I do think if there's more in this series, I might pick it up, but also not anytime soon. That's gonna go ahead and wrap up this little mini vlog for you guys today. So in total, I read 4 books, well, 3 graphic novels, and I browsed through a astrology book. So I'd say pretty successful. I think I read somewhere between 400-ish pages, so a good solid reading day. Hello, Editor Emily, just to cut in here. I was wrong in the total count of pages that I read for that day. I actually read closer to 1,000 pages. I think between the 3 graphic novels, I read 944 pages. So a little bit better than just like a good reading day. All right, let's hop right back in. And it's about like 9 o'clock or so now, so I still have some of my evening left. So I think I'm gonna spend the rest of it watching some anime or reading fan fiction. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like. Let me know down in the comments what graphic novels you've read that you're really interested in, or if you've read any of the books I read in this vlog. I'd love to know. But if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel out and lets me know you want more videos like this. I upload every Monday, so you can look out for me in the next one. But otherwise, I will see you guys next video. Bye!